Hey, I just started learning Python, and for the next 50 days, I'll be solving 50 LeetCode problems. I'll get 30 minutes each problem, and at the end of each video, I'll be scoring myself on my personal scoreboard of shame. Welcome to day 5. Today's problem is Pascal's triangle 2. Yesterday, it got really tough for me to understand what the problem really is. I couldn't solve it myself, and I took help from ChatGPT to solve it. Today I have spent a good amount of time to understand the actual problem, and just an overview what we did here. This is the code that I wrote myself after understanding the problem. So what we are doing in this problem is that we are running the for loop. The first for loop creates a list of ones. So if we are on third row, it will create 3 plus 1, 4 ones in a list. And then in that list, we will be replacing elements. And then to replace those elements, we are using another for loop. And in this loop, we are taking the jth element of the row that we just created, and then we are replacing that element with the sum of the elements that are directly above it. We can understand the problem by just visualizing this triangle, but to write it in a code, it was a bit tough for me. I think I have understood it now, and let's move on to the Pascal's triangle 2. This problem seems simple enough if we understand the Pascal's triangle 1. So in this problem, we just have to return only the list for the num row that they are presenting us. So if the row index is 3, so this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they are giving us num rows as 3, we will be returning this one, 1, 3, 3, 1. We are not returning the whole triangle this time. We are just returning the numberth list that they ask for. So let's start the code and let's see where we go. I think there are two ways to solve this. We can just use the code that we created before, and then we can, instead of appending the list into the triangle, we are just gonna be returning the last list that we create. Or if there's another way that we can straight create the list itself without creating all the lists before it. I'm gonna go with the first one first. Let's start with the code. Let's try to do the simplest form first, and then we will try to do the second part. I believe this should work. So what I'm doing here right now is, for the index of the range of num index, if we have 4, for example, it will create the row with 5 ones in it, and then the for j loop, it will have the rows jth element will be replaced by previous rows j minus 1 element and jth element, and then we are at the end of the outer loop, we are replacing previous row with the current row. So every time the loop goes on, our previous row gets replaced by the row that is currently being used, and then it will use it for the next loop. At the end, we are returning the row that we will get at the end of the both of the loops. Let's try to run this. Let's see where we get. We have gotten this error. Let's try to troubleshoot this one. It says that they cannot access the variable row, but I think I am defining it over here. Let's try to troubleshoot this. I think I understand what the issue is. If the row index is 0, for I in range of 0, it won't run this, and it will just return an empty list. I think it won't even return an empty list, it will just not have anything. So we'll try to add a if statement at the starting. If the row index is 0, then we will be just returning 1. and if index gets 1, then it will be returning the right thing. So let's try that one. I think this should work. Let's try. I'll put 1, 2, 1, 3. I understand what the issue is here. Instead of returning the ith index, I'm returning the I-1 index. It should be an easy fix. Let's try to fix it. I think I just need to add +1 over here. So if they're asking for 4th row, in human terms, they're actually asking for the 5th list. So we will try to let's try debugging. I believe the easiest fix will be just adding +1 over here. And I think it should work. So let's try it. It is working. Let's try to submit this code. Nice. It works and it is fast. I don't know how. I thought if we are creating the list for like each element, it's gonna be consuming a lot of memory, but it is fast. So I guess I'm happy. I thought we would have to optimize this code, but all right. Let's take a look at some other people's code. Let's try to understand these. Yeah, if row index is 0, return 1 is fine. Previous row is get row index -1, and the return 1 plus previous row ith and previous rows I+1 element for I in range length of previous row, then +1. Okay, so they are just returning 1 at the front, 1 at the end, and then they are using a for loop to create the elements inside by using the previous rows. Seems nice. We solved our code in 15 minutes. Yesterday it was really tough. I think when we got to understand what Pascal's triangle really is, it becomes really easy. And this was nice. Better than yesterday. So let's mark this one done over here. I would say, yeah, accidental genius is fine. It was quite chill today. I'm happy with my code. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tomorrow we will be doing problem number 121, best time to buy and sell stock. Bye bye.